Never know here. It's okay.
The Wildcats very quickly in this ballgame. Same situation they were in yesterday when they got the leadoff runner, Sleeman on an error, and then Donaldson moved her over. Let's see if the rest of the lineup can bring it home for Kentucky. Allie Blum to the plate, the second baseman. Blum is a sophomore out of New Palestine, Indiana. Time called as she steps out of the box. First pitch from Munnerlyn with the corners in for the Aggies is high. Change-up at 54 miles an hour, 1 ball and no strikes. Blum, 375 hitter. She is a sophomore, as I told you earlier. 5 homers and 20 runs driven in. That was up and in on the hands, 2 balls and no strikes. Underway. We're in the top of the first inning. Aggies and the Kentucky Wildcats. Change up. Foul ball left side. That'll bound in front of the Aggie bullpen. 2-1. Aggies in their pink uniforms today. It's their annual BTHO cancer game. Cancer survivors recognized pregame. So the gray pants and the pink tops for Texas A&M, the pink stirrups. And the Wildcats in all black today. Final game of this Texas trip. They were in Houston on Wednesday night, and then the 3 games here in Aggieland. 2-1 pitch, grounded foul, just foul, past third base, and the diving Kennedy Powell. Wildcats as a team come in with a 300 team batting average, 38 home runs, and they do have homers kind of stacked throughout their lineup for Rachel Lawson. They've got 5 different players with at least 5 long balls. So the potential to leave the yard most of the way through their lineup. Next pitch in on the hands, foul back. The net on the right side, so we'll hold it 2-2. Blum 2 for 4 in this series for the Wildcats. As a double, it came yesterday in the 6th inning when Kentucky made a furious push to climb back in the game. Were unable to push across more than 1 run. Ends up line foul, third base side. Kentucky looking to rebound after a rough start to conference play. To get one to head home. They've got a big week ahead. 5 games for the Wildcats, including a home series with Georgia. Popped up, foul territory left side, long run. Paisley Allen into the corner, makes the catch for the out. Quickly gets the ball in to hold Sleeman at second base. Long run for Paisley Allen. That's out number 2. Aggies have been playing their outfielders pinched in every now and then. What I mean by that is they move them towards the gaps, and what that will create is long runs for balls hitting in the corners. Nice range there by Paisley. 2 down here in the first, no score. Here is Abby Hammond, the designated player. Dangerous bat at the plate here. Pitch is outside, 1-0. Abby, seen her pitch, seen her DP this weekend. She's a freshman out of Lexington Catholic High. 231 hitter, 2 homers, and 7 runs driven in. Rips that to right field. That's going to get over Frankie's head, and it's up against the fence, and that will bring home the first run of the game. And the Kentucky Wildcats have their first lead of the weekend. Comes with 2 outs on the double by Abby Hammond. And for Abby, that is RBI number 8, double number 2 of the season. 3rd RBI of the weekend for her. She stands out at second base. Again, the first lead of the weekend for Kentucky. First pitch deep down the line and left. That is foul. That'll have home run distance, but it's a good 30 feet foul into the Aggie bullpen by Carissa Hamilton. Senior first baseman for Kentucky out of Flat Rock, Indiana, the veteran. 381 hitter on the year, 6 home runs, and 32 runs driven in. 1-0 Wildcats here in the first. In on the hands. That one misses. Ball and a strike. Again, I talked about situational hitting. Kentucky all weekend until today had 1 hit with runners in scoring position, and they get 1 in their first opportunity here today. Swing and a miss. Hamilton behind on that one, up at the letters at 64 miles an hour. So ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's Munnerlin's pitch. Way high out of the zone, 2-2. Aggie defense for you. It's, as always, Paisley Allen, Kelsey Mathis, Frankie Vrajal in the outfield, Kennedy Powell, KK Dement, Talon Edwards, Maya Perez around the infield, and Ariel Kowalewski back there behind the plate for the homestanding Aggies. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove on the rise ball, and that will retire Hamilton to limit damage. But Kentucky, their first lead of the weekend on the 2-out double by Abby Hammond. 1-0 Kentucky, headed to the bottom of the first.
Headed to the bottom of the first inning. Fans' concession stands are located on the first base side of the concourse, serving favorites such as 44 Farms, Angus beef, Aggie dogs, chicken tenders, Slovak sausage, and cold Pepsi products. Stands are also located on the third base side of the concourse, serving Ricos nachos, popcorn, Maui Wowie frozen drinks, and ice cold Pepsi products. Reminder to improve speed of service, all registers at Davis Diamond are cashless. In case of an emergency, please ask an extra uniform officer for assistance. You can find the first aid located on the third base side of the concourse.
To the bottom of the first inning. Kennedy Powell will lead it off at third base. Talon Edwards is at second. Maya Perez at first. Kayla Wark is your DP today. Ariel Kowalewski will catch. KK Dement at shortstop. Kelsey Mathis in center. Paisley Allen at left. Frankie Vrajal at right. And they will face Sarah Hendeges, the senior out of Upland, California, second year in the program. Hendeges on the year 8-3 with a 2.65 ERA. She is their ace. 9th start of the season. 15th appearance overall, 66 innings of work, 59 hits, 31 runs allowed, 30 walks, and 65 strikeouts. She'll face an Aggie lineup that hits .348 on the season, 42 home runs as a team. First pitch coming to KP, and it is a strike at the knees. In the bottom half of inning number 1. Kennedy Powell, Talon Edwards, Maya Perez due up here in this one. KP, a .438 hitter, a homer, and 15 runs driven in. Slaps this one foul. And quickly the count is 0-2. KP had a 6th inning base hit yesterday that extended her reached base streak to 30. She has reached base in every single game this year for Texas A&M. Out of the zone and down at 65 miles an hour, 1-2. Hendigas, by the way, has pitched in, not yet in this series, but she has pitched in 4 of Kentucky's previous 6 SEC contests. In on the hands, KP follows that one back. Got a victory over Auburn. Their only win so far in conference play. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs in that one. Auburn on the road lost in that 13-inning marathon. 8 1/3 innings, only allowed 2 runs on 7 hits. Changeup, check swing, fouled off the body of Kennedy Powell. The home plate umpire, Robert Pentecoff, said she was still in the box at the time. So we'll hold at 1 and 2. That's Robert Pentecoff behind the plate. Brett Higgins is at first, and Michael Bartling is at third. It's your SEC umpiring crew here today. 1-2 pitch to KP. Foul back. Again, back to Hendigas. Pitched in 2 of the Florida games. Took the loss once to the Gators. 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs. And then against Florida in the finale of that series, no decision, 5 2/3, 7 hits, and 4 runs out in there. See Jeff Harger back in the third base coaching box talking to, making her laugh, of course, talking to Kennedy Powell, having her settle in and focus a bit. She's been such an incredible catalyst to this Texas A&M offense this season in that leadoff spot. 1-2 pitch. Takes one down below the knees, just above the ankles. And that'll even the count at 2. Texas A&M has been very good at home this year, 12-2 entering this game. 2-2. Curveball misses inside, a little bit off the speed as well. Good pitch. KP did not offer, and the count is full, 3-2. 9th pitch of the at-bat here to the first batter for Texas A&M against Sarah Hendigas. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded nicely by Blum near the bag at second, and will throw her out. Been very impressed with only Blum at second. She's been really good and been covering a ton of ground over there for Kentucky. She'll get the first out on the hard hit ground ball.
Second baseman number 44, Talon Edwards.
So 1 down. That'll bring up Talon Edwards, the Aggie senior. Had a really good day yesterday to break out of a slump. They'll start her with a changeup at the knees, 0-1. As it's called the strike. 364 hitter, 8 doubles, 3 homers, 23 runs driven in. Pitch taken below the knees. That'll even the count. Talon yesterday, heck of a game. Walked, had a double and a 3-run homer in the 6th that really put the game out of reach. And that double and the homer going to that left center gap, which is vintage Talon Edwards. Fly ball hit well to center field. Backtracking a bit, making the catch is Donaldson just shy of the track for out number 2.
You can also hear yourself if you speak into it, which is, I think I've probably been able to hear you as well. Can you hear me? Yeah. It's a beautiful day at Davis Diamond for the
That'll bring up the Aggies All-American Maya Perez, reigning SEC Player of the Week.
Bottom of the first as it's 1-0.
Maya, 481 hitter, 12 homers, and 36 runs driven in. Yesterday, 2 walks and then 0 for 2. Other than that, that's outside for a ball. Again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. LSU did not throw her a strike on Monday night. 4 walks on 16 pitches, and here it took until her second at-bat before she finally saw a strike. That was on yesterday's game. Down and in, 2-0. And Friday night against Kentucky, she was walked 4 times. Yesterday, she was walked in her opening at-bat, then strikeout, ground out, and then another walk. Changeup taken high, 3-0. This is outside. 4-pitch walk.
Before end of game, I'm going to drive the cat over to outfield.
Likely going to be the case
So
for
that
Maya
I
for a
can grab
fair amount of
the,
games
box
this
and the
season
cable
where
and whatnot,
teams are going
bring
to
it
make
back
someone
immediately.
other than her beat
Because
them.
you will have to wait for them to clear field entirely. So
There's
if you
one
go
that
to
can do it,
1-5.
Michaela Wark.
So if you want to start up here and just do this one and then do 3, and I'll be back. And then
They're
I
out
can
of
grab
Frisco, hitting
1 or 5, whatever's
.313
left,
on
and
the
then we'll
year,
have to take
11
some down
homers,
as well,
leads
so.
the team, 40
Yeah, we'll
runs
just grab
driven in.
boxes first, and then we'll, yeah.
First pitch, breaking ball
Or sheds,
down in the
rather,
zone,
boxes.
1-0. Mick in this series 2 for 6 with a grand slam. 1-0 Kentucky. Aggies sitting here with 2 outs in the first inning. Change up ripped through the left side for a base hit. It's her 3rd hit of the weekend. It was an off-speed pitch that Michaela went and got. A little bit low in the zone. No chance for either Sleeman at 3rd or Clark at short to get that one. That was through the infield before they could barely react, honestly. And that'll set the Aggies up now with an opportunity with 2 outs. They have been good in situational hitting this weekend. Ball 1 to Ariel Kowalewski, the Aggies sophomore catcher. 382 hitter on the year, 4 homers, 21 runs driven in. And here is the Kentucky head coach, Rachel Lawson, heading out to the mound to talk with her ace. Rachel, one of the best pitching coaches in the SEC and the country. 19th season in Lexington, 645 wins. She's led Kentucky to 16 straight NCAAs, and we've seen her do this quite a bit this weekend, where she'll come out and, you know, yes, she's talking pitching strategy, but she's also making sure the defense knows where they need to go. Quick mound visit there is over. She'll head back to the dugout. A 1-0 count coming to AK, who on the weekend is 3 for 6 with a double and 2 runs driven in. There's a pitch from Hendricks, that's down. 2-0. Aggies have a very lefty-heavy lineup at the top. 5th batter of the game for A&M. The first 4 of the first 5 are lefties. That's flared into left field. That's going to hang up and right in the glove of Riddell for out number 3. So the Aggies threaten but do not score. We'll head to the second. Kentucky leads at 1-0.
Hey, let's go.
It's time for Ask the Aggies, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Howdy, I'm Lexi from David Gardner's Jewelers, and I would like to ask the Aggies, do you believe in aliens?
Yes, I do.
We can't be the only specimen.
It is
We
not
the only
right.
universe. Do I want to run and stuff? No, because they gotta be out there somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what?
Yeah, that's not really something I've like thought about.
That I don't. I don't know. They could definitely like be out there somewhere in like another galaxy. No, I just don't think it's possible.
We've had this talk. I played in simulations, I played in aliens. Pigeons are just cameras. Like robots.
No, that's not right. Haven't seen one.
No, I think it's something I never think about, so.
I'm not gonna say yes or no, just because like what if they come take it from me? Like they hear this right now.
So yeah, I think yes.
I believe in Jesus.
Okay. I feel like any other response I give you is not good. I do believe in Jesus. But maybe there's some aliens roaming around, maybe.
There has to be.
I just 100%. I do know. I don't know. There's gotta be something else.
Top of the second inning, Kentucky with a 1-0 lead, and the Aggies have made a change in the circle. It is Sydney Peters, the junior out of Santa Fe, Texas, 8-3 with a 2.52 earned run average. 19th appearance of the year. Sid, 61 innings of work, 45 hits, 31 runs, 21 walks, and a team-high 71 strikeouts. So she will take over for Kate Munnerlin, who gave up a run on 2 hits. There were quite a few hard-hit balls in that first inning. So Trisha Ford not messing around. Is going to make the switch very quickly here in this second inning. We saw Sid start the game on Friday night. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, picked up the victory, struck out 8 in a 10-2 6-inning victory. And you can bet that every arm is on the table for the Aggies. Really, every arm's on the table for both of these teams. So much to play for in both dugouts. The Aggies trying to go for a sweep, Kentucky trying to avoid a sweep and take a win back home. Sydney Peters will face Peyton Plotz, Maddie Clark, and Ella Emmert. 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Plotz, a junior out of Lexington, Kentucky, stands in from the right side. And the first pitch is taken below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Plott's 312 hitter on the year, 9 home runs, 24 runs driven in. And this stretch in the Kentucky lineup has been held hitless to this point in the series. Plott's 0 for 6. That's a strike just below the belt on the inner half. All right-handed hitters in this Kentucky lineup. And Tricia Ford telling me before the weekend she's not sure if she's faced a team in a very long time that's been all right-handed batters. But that has been the case this weekend. 1-1. Outside. Kate Munnerlyn, 2 hits, 1 run in the first inning, over 18 pitches. Rise ball, Plotts went part of the way around, did not go. And first base umpire Brett Higgins agrees. 3-1 the count now to Peyton Plotts. Again, Kentucky has had chances this weekend. They cashed one in the first inning. They came into this game hitting just 170 in this series and 091 with runners in scoring position. They were 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, and they've already got a hit in this game to double that total. And the double that drove in the run also came with 2 outs, and they've been struggling there as well. That's high above the letters. And a leadoff walk to Peyton Plotts to begin Sidney Peters' outing here. That'll bring up Maddie Clark, the shortstop, and that will bring Tricia Ford out of the dugout. Never a good sign when the head ball coach comes out of the dugout in the first couple innings. Kind of felt like Sidney was overthrowing there in that at-bat, where she was, the ball had some kind of tail to it, missing. And that last one came in a fair amount high. Ford talking with her junior pitcher. Let's see how Wildcats handle this one here. Maddie Clark at the plate. Senior out of Claremont, California. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw another small ball here. Move the runner with a bunt, and then rely on the hitters underneath you to get it done. All right, first pitch coming to Maddie. Flashes bunt for a split second, takes the bat back. It's a called strike on the outside corner at 69 miles an hour. So that's high. That's a high number for Peters. She doesn't always hit high. She's high 60s, but not that high, if that makes sense. There's the 0-1 pitch coming. Clark shows bunt, pushes it toward the circle. Peters, one play, throws to first to Maya Perez for the out. So Clark's sacrifice is successful. Now it'll be up to Ella Emmert and Alexa Riddell to get that run home. 1-0 Kentucky here in the second. Good bunt executed. Smart decision there by Sidney Peters. Just take the out right in front of you there. Plenty of softball left. So that'll bring up the catcher, Ella Emmert. 0 for 3 in the series. Only played in yesterday's game. Senior out of Lexington. Swings, fouls the first pitch back. Emmert on the year, a .258 hitter, starting her 24th game. 5 doubles, 3 home runs, and 12 runs driven in. 1-0 Kentucky, hitting here in the top of the second inning. Rise ball well out of the zone. If you missed the first inning, Kentucky began with a leadoff single to left center. Sacrifice bunt moved the runner after a foul out. A double by Abby Hammond has given Kentucky their first lead of the weekend. Rise ball way out in front of that one, swing and a miss. Emmert swinging at one up at the kind of at the neck, at the base of the helmet almost. I'd be surprised if the Aggies go back to it there. 1-2 to count. Yep, they did. That time it was even higher, and she checked her swing. Counts 2-2. Peters, second year in the Aggie program after transferring from Washington, freshman at Washington, last year here. Battling injuries last year. That's fouled back under the net. This hopefully it'll be her first full season for the Aggies. Battle here with one out and a runner at second here in the second inning. Pop foul, going back towards the sweep.
Davis Steiner's keepers on all foul balls here at Davis Steiner, courtesy of the Dixie Chicken.
And he's playing Emmert pretty much straight up. The corners even with the bases here on the 2-2 count. Change up in the dirt, swung on a miss. Strike three. AK has to throw down to first. And she does. Make sure the runner at second doesn't go anywhere as well. Big strikeout there. Now 2 outs. Change up in the dirt. Way out in front of that was Emmert. Kowalewski doing a nice job of just making sure that runner stays. Gets the out. Not out of the woods yet. Here's Alexa Riddell. Freshman out of St. Louis, 229 hitter, 10 runs driven in. Bounces a change up in for ball one, blocked by Kowalewski behind the plate. Riddell, as I said, just a 229 hitter, but she's got 2 hits in this series. Tied for the team lead in hits with 2. There's 3 or 4 Wildcats that have 2 hits in this weekend set. That's outside at 68 miles an hour. 2 balls, no strikes. And Riddell has been clutch this year, hitting about 100 points higher with runners in scoring position. Peters getting the sign. Better start her pitching movement quick here. It should be a clock violation. Didn't call it. Fly ball to center. Kelsey Mathis shading her eyes against the sun. Trouble, makes the catch just on the track for an out. And Rachel Lawson out to talk to the home plate umpire. That clock did hit 0. She has an argument there. And she's not going to get the call. That's a nice play by Kelsey Mathis, battling that high sun here on a Sunday. Right at the track, makes the catch. So Kentucky unable to cash in the leadoff walk. Will head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Wildcats.
Saturday, April 4th, as the Aggies take on Georgia at 12:30 p.m. Kids 10 and younger will be able to participate in close game egg hunt in the outfield of Davis Steiner. Make sure to buy your game tickets in advance at 12man.com/softball tickets. Hey fans, take a look at the video board as we check out the 12-man presented by Slovacix, the official sausage of Texas A&M Athletics, an Aggie tradition since 1957.
Kentucky leading 15th ranked Texas A&M 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Take a look around the SEC scoreboard for you here in this half inning. As everything's in full swing, Oklahoma and Ole Miss is the featured series this weekend, so they only have 1 game in the books. Oklahoma run ruling Ole Miss and Oxford. They'll be in action tonight at 6 o'clock and then tomorrow night as well. KK DeBent, Kelsey Mathis, Paisley Allen due up here. 6, 7, and 8 in the Texas A&M lineup. KK to the plate. And the sophomore first pitch, push bunt, first base side, diving stop by the first baseman who trapped it, throws to first, not in time. Heck of an effort there by Hamilton, but KK DeBent forcing the issue, getting on base with a leadoff single here in the second. Great effort there at first, definitely trapped it. Had to turn completely around on the ground. KK's able to beat that out. Aggies seeing something they liked about the Kentucky defensive alignment, so that gets them a bunt single. Here's Kelsey Mathis. That one bounces in for a ball, 1-0. Kelsey, the sophomore out of Waco, is hitting .327, 3 homers, 13 runs driven in. She is tied for the team lead this weekend with 4 hits, 4 for 6 for Kelsey with 2 runs scored. Pitch taken down. 2 balls and no strikes. Bottom of the lineup's been pretty good this weekend. Kelsey 4 for 6, Paisley 1 for 3 with 2 runs driven in. Frankie 4 for 6. That pitch misses down and in. It's a 3-0 count, so that bunt single seems to maybe have rattled Hendiges a little bit, and she can't find the zone here. And that is low for a ball. 4-pitch walk. So a bunt single, push bunt there by KK, and then a walk, and the Aggies have something cooking here in the second.
Stepping into the box, left fielder number 11, Paisley Allen.
We'll bring up Paisley Allen, the sophomore transfer from Georgia out of Louisville, Texas. 245 on the year with a homer and 11 runs driven in. Break, perfect bunt, right side, high throw, pulls the second baseman off the bag. Hamilton, the first baseman, was charging and chunked it. Nice play by Blum to keep it from going down the line, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. Sailed on her. And again, credit Blum for not trying to keep her foot on the bag. She went up and got it. If she doesn't catch that, it is down into the corner, and the Aggies have 2 runs home. Third error of the weekend for Kentucky. Paisley with her second sacrifice of the weekend. Here's Frankie Brajel, bases loaded, nobody out. Strike 1 for the Aggies right fielder. Frankie on the year, a .380 hitter, 9 runs driven in. Golden chance here for Texas A&M to punch back as they trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Fouled off her front foot. Immediately called foul by Robert Pentecoff behind the plate. So Hendiges right back at her here. And the count is 0-2. Frankie this season with the bases loaded 2 for 3. But now finds herself in an 0-2 hole. Checks her swing on a changeup. Did she go around? She did. And that's a strikeout. Rung up by the third base umpire, Michael Bartling. Crowd doesn't like it, but Frankie started running the minute she checked her swing, so that tells me she went around. Didn't have anywhere to go anyways as the bases are loaded, but 1 down. KK's at third, Kelsey's at second, and Paisley is at first. And here is Kennedy Powell. Change-up, went around, checked her swing, but didn't hold up. Counts 0-1. Hendiges to these last couple batters has been burying changeups in the dirt, and the Aggies unable to lay off them. KP this year 1 for 3 with the bases loaded. There's a pitch, grounded foul to the right side. She's down in the count 0-2. That one, by the way, was a grand slam in Clearwater. Aggies have to cash in at least 1 in this inning. 1 out, bases are loaded. Kentucky has the infield in. 0-2. Ground ball right side. That'll get a run home as Blum will flip to first. And Texas A&M ties the game on the RBI ground out by KP. So a bunt single, a walk, and an error. And A&M cashes in a run. Let's see if they can get some more. Here's Talon Edwards. Talon 0 for 1 in the ball game. It's a pitch. She takes a strike right above the knees, 0-1. 2 in scoring position for the Aggies, who've tied this game up here in the second. Talon 2 for 7 with a double, a homer, and 3 runs driven in the series. Change-up, strike, called at the knees. And the count's 0-2. Hendigas, after that rough start to the inning, has gotten ahead of every hitter. Working quickly, 0-2 pitch, changeup, swung on and just got a piece of it. The plate at 55 miles an hour. There's a pitch, outside. Alan Edwards, the veteran, should give the Aggies a lead here. 1-2, change-up cued, foul to Camerwell on the first base side. Had an 0 for 10 slump against LSU. Went 0 for 3 with a walk in the first game this weekend and busted out in a big way yesterday.
Here you go, Kyle.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A speed pitch taken off the plate. That'll even the count. Hendigas ready. 2-2. Grounded foul, first base side, hit it hard. Just to the right of the bag, just to the right of the runner's lane. Aggie assistant Russ Heffley. Callan has fouled off 3 2-strike pitches in this at-bat. Change up way out in front of that, fouls it off right side. You can see Hendigas, he was definitely leaning on more off-speed stuff in this at-bat. Is changing speeds and trying to throw off the Aggies' timing. Got a strikeout of Frankie Vrajel off of that. Got ahead of KP that way. Callan Edwards fighting with her here. Another 2-2 pitch. Outside and high, good eye. Took the bat off her shoulder just barely, and the count is full. Bases open, Maya Perez on deck for Texas A&M. 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul right side. This will be the 11th pitch of the at-bat coming. Heff tried to stop it with his foot, and he didn't, and he's hearing it from the first base umpire. Eleventh pitch coming. Hit into center field. Donaldson will make the catch, 2 steps shy of the track for out number 3. Well, the Aggies load them with nobody out. They do get 1, but they'll leave a pair in scoring position. And we'll head to the 3rd. Tied at 1, Texas A&M and Kentucky.
Special thanks to Rudy's Barbecue for their support of Texas A&M Athletics and Aggie Softball. Join us back here at Davis Diamond for the first Padres at the Park on Friday, April 3rd as the Aggies take on Georgia at 6 p.m. Scan the QR code on the video board and submit a photo of your favorite furry friend for a chance to be featured on the video board. Complete the photo submission form and check into 12-man rewards at the game to get a Texas A&M pet bandana for your furry friend while supplies last. For more information, visit 12man.com/promotions and buy your tickets in advance. Fans, we want you to fill in the stands. You are welcome to fill in any unoccupied seats in any section other than the club in section 105. We thank you in advance for relocating if someone has tickets for the seats you fill in.
Top of the third, 1-1, Texas A&M and Kentucky. Now we'll go over SEC scores as that second inning got pretty wild pretty quick. One series in the books. Tennessee at Florida. Tennessee won the opener Friday night. Florida won yesterday and won today by a final of 3-2 to take the series over the Tennessee Lady Volunteers. That one in the books. All the series in the league, with the exception of this one, were split through the first 2 days. So we'll go over those for you in this half inning. Sydney Peters, second inning of relief. She's got the top of the order here. Carly Sleeman, Emery Donaldson, and Allie Blum. Starts her with a 59-mile-an-hour changeup for a strike. Sleeman singled and scored Kentucky's run in the first inning off of starter Kate Munnerlyn. Sleeman's batting average now to .408 as she stands in. Changeup popped up right side of the infield. Backing up into the grass is Talon Edwards, and she'll make the catch for out number one. The Aggie second baseman squeezes it. Alabama and Missouri. Alabama won Friday night. Missouri won yesterday, and today Alabama leads 4-2 in Columbia in the fifth inning. Trying to take that series. LSU and South Carolina. That has been a wild series. There's Donaldson. Sacrifice bunt in the first inning for Kentucky was successful. That's a ball. South Carolina beat the Tigers 6-5 in 12 innings on Friday night. LSU won game 2 yesterday, and minus an assistant coach, leading 2-1 in the top of the seventh in Columbia right now with just one hit in the game. It's a 1-0. Pop foul here on the right side into the stands. Mississippi State and Georgia. That series is deadlocked at 1 in Athens. Georgia won Friday. Mississippi State won yesterday. Georgia leading early today at Jack Turner Stadium. 3-0 is the score there. Later tonight, Oklahoma is at Ole Miss. Change up, swing, and a miss. It counts 1-2. Other series, wasn't really a series, it was a home and home that we kept an eye on for Aggie fans. Texas and Baylor, 1-2 pitches way high for Donaldson. Texas beating Baylor in Austin 10-2 on Friday night. Yesterday, they made the drive up I-35 to Waco. Play a second game, and Texas blew out Baylor 11-0 in 5 innings for that one. That is where A&M will be Friday night in Austin. Change up, swing, and a miss, strike 3. 56 miles an hour, Sydney Peters. Second strikeout of her outing. 2 down here quickly in the third. Beautiful pitch there on the outer half of the belt, pulled the string. 1-1 our score. That'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, Allie Blum. Blum fouled out to pretty deep left field in the first inning for Kentucky. It's a changeup down, 1-0. Blum now hitting .371 as she stands in. And on the hands, a little check swing, popped into the circle, and Sydney Peters will catch it. It's one of those, if you're playing baseball, that wooden bat shatters. That's where she put it, right on the handle. Blum tried to check her swing, but she will be retired on the pop-out in a very quick top of the third for Sydney Peters and the Aggies. Middle of 3, tied at 1.
I took 14 58 moves. Is that right?
We answer the call.
To work when no one's watching.
To fight for every inch.
To wear maroon and white with pride. Your support gives us the opportunity
To train. To compete.
to chase championships.
And to live out our dreams.
You are our foundation.
And this
is our opportunity.
Fans, you can listen to every pitch of the Aggie softball season, both home and away on Willie 1550 AM. You can also take the Aggies with you wherever you go. Live streaming audio on the 12-man mobile app. This year, Aggie softball has once again teamed up with Relay for Life with Brazos Valley featuring a lot of cancer.
Heading to the bottom of the third inning, Texas A&M and Kentucky are deadlocked at 1. Let's recap the scoring for you if you're just checking in with us or tuning in here on the SEC Network. First inning, Kentucky leadoff single, Carly Sleeman. Successful sacrifice bunt moves her to second, and a 2-out RBI double into right field by Abby Hammond gave Kentucky the 1-0 lead. In the second inning, the Aggies begin the inning with a KK Dement bunt single. Kelsey Mathis was walked on 4 pitches. Paisley Allen laid down a sac bunt. And the first baseman, Hamilton, turned and threw it wide of the bag. It didn't go down the line, but it pulled the second baseman off. So that loaded the bases. And then 1 out later, Kennedy Powell with an RBI ground out to tie the game. That's where we sit right now. The teams have combined to leave 6 runners on base. They are a combined 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So really, for the third consecutive game, as probably most softball games do, it's going to come down to situational hitting and who can make the big play or get the big hit. Maya Perez, Michaela Warwick, Ariel Kowalewski for Texas A&M. Against Sarah Hendigas, 44 pitches through the first 2 innings. First pitch grounded right side, knocked down by the first baseman. Goes towards second, picked up by Blum in the hole, throw to first to get the out. Hamilton went down, got a glove on it, keeping it from going through the hole. It went to Blum, who was able to stay with it and make the throw back to Hamilton, who crawled back to the bag to get the out. 1 down for Texas A&M here in the third. Kayla Warwick takes a big hack on a pitch just on the outer half of the plate there for strike 1. She is 1 for 1 today on a single to left field. 3 for 7 now in the series. Just a strike called on the outside corner, 0-2. Warwick, 11 home runs on the year, ties her career high. She had 29 in 3 seasons at Oklahoma State. 11 was her high. She's tied that already here. And now 40 career home runs for Michaela Warwick. Wearing the maroon and white, granted pink today, but normally maroon and white for the Aggies in her final collegiate season. Popped up into shallow right field. Coming over to make the catch is Plotz, the right fielder, for out number 2. Hendigas doing a nice job of mixing speeds. Change up sitting in the mid-50s or so, and the hard stuff sitting in the 64, 65 range. Really keeping these Aggie hitters off balance. 2 quick outs in the bottom half of the third inning. And here's Ariel Kowalewski, 0 for 1 in the game, flew out to left field in the first. Drives that down the line and right. That is tailing foul. Will 1-hop the fence about 10 feet. Foul, strike 1. AK now 3 for 7 in this series. Aggies hit .404 in the first 2 games of this series. Outside, 1-1. And honestly, most of the damage has come late in games. Granted, they did put up a 4 spot in the first inning yesterday, but 7 of their runs in the first game came in the final 2 innings. That's down. And then the big 3 runs that really broke the game open came in the 6th inning yesterday. So it's taken these Aggie hitters a bit to sort of get going against this Kentucky pitching staff most of the weekend. 2-1 pitch to AK. Outside, 3-1. Patricia Ford, I asked her before the game, I said, you know, what are you seeing out of the hitters and what they've been doing differently and when they were struggling? And she told me, she said, you know, really it's just chasing. Strike called. Swinging at stuff they don't normally swing at, and that's either getting them in holes in at-bats or resulting in weaker groundouts. Three-two, change-up, ripped down the line and right, carrying, 1-hops the fence. AK races around first into second, slides in safely with a 2-out double. went out in front and got that. It was a changeup at 54 miles an hour. Put that right in the corner. That's her team-leading 12th double of the season.
Making her way to the plate, Aggies shortstop number 16, KK.
74 miles an hour off the bat from Ariel Kowalewski. Here's KK. Big swing and a miss. Just got a piece of that one. Foul tipped into the glove of the catcher for strike one. KK surprised the defense with a bunt single in the second inning. She's now 2 for 6. 3 runs driven in this series. Time called at the plate. We're going to reset the pitch clock. Home plate umpire Robert Penikoff and third base umpire Michael Bartley. All right, here we go. That's a drop ball, misses off the plate. Again, you see how Kentucky has to defend KK DeMent. She bunted, and KK definitely is more of a power hitter than a bunter, but they've got the corners in, do Kentucky. Trying to take that away from her here. 1-1, way out of the zone. You've put that on the table, and the Aggies have done, I would say, a bit more bunting this weekend than they normally do. And Kentucky's defense has to adjust accordingly, and that cuts the angles down. 2-1 pitch. That's a strike called on the inside corner. Right at the knees, 2-2. So a 2-2 count with AK at second base. Changeup floats in. That's a called strike 3. Nice pitch there by Hendigas. Froze the Aggies shortstop on the outer half, and A&M will not be able to cash in a 2-out double. We'll head to the 4th, and we're tied at 1.
Texas A&M 1. Okay, softball fans, we welcome Maddie in section 108 to Davis Stockton. Today is our contestant for the Whataburger Shuffle. If Maddie wins, they'll be walking away with some free Whataburger. Okay, Maddie, we'll have 3 Whataburger bags with 1 honey butter chicken biscuit. The bags are going to shuffle around, and you're going to tell me which bag has the honey butter chicken biscuit. Let's play Whataburger Shuffle. Keep your eyes on the prize. Which one is it? 1, 2, or 3?
1.
She said 1. Let's see if she's right. It is 1. Congratulations, Maddie. You're receiving some swag and some free Whataburger. Whataburger, proud to serve Texas A&M fans 24 hours a day.
One to 1, A&M and Kentucky as we head to the top of the 4th inning. The Aggies 3 hits, Kentucky 2 hits, and 1 big error in this game. Sydney Peters in relief of the starter, Kate Munnerlyn, about to begin her 3rd inning of work. Kentucky 20-11 on the year, 1-7 in league play. They are in the midst of a brutal SEC schedule. There's no real easy SEC schedule, but some years, as we can attest, much harder than others, and this is no question one of those for Kentucky. Listen to this stretch they get. They opened at Auburn, they won the opener and then lost the series, losing the rubber match in 13 innings. Then you get number 5 Florida at home. Florida winning all 3 of those. They're here against 15th ranked Texas A&M. Then they go home and host number 15 Georgia. After that, at Oklahoma, home Tennessee, at Alabama, and home Texas. That is a brutal SEC slate for the Kentucky Wildcats, looking to make their 17th consecutive NCAA tournament appearance. Strike 1 to Abby Hammond, who has an RBI double in this game to drive in Kentucky's only run back in the 1st. Changeup chopped over the circle. No play for Sydney Peters, and Callan Edwards will just have to eat it at second base. Just enough hop to get over Peters, and there was nothing that any of the middles could do about that. And a leadoff single, and now Abby Hammond has her 4th hit of the weekend.
First baseman number 2, Carissa Hamilton.
Now Carissa Hamilton to the plate, who struck out in the first inning. It's high and outside for a ball, 1-0. Hamilton is now hitting .377 after the strikeout, 0 for 7 in the series. One of the top hitters, second leading hitter actually on this Kentucky roster. Aggies have the middles back and the corners in. 1-0, rise ball way up and in, and Hamilton overswings on that one. Counts 1-1. Hasn't been every time, but we have seen the Aggie pitchers be able to get Kentucky hitters to chase rises that are even a little bit higher out of the zone than they normally are over the weekend. That was an example there. 1-1, change up low. Aggies have the outfield maybe a step deep and straight away. That's well high. 3 balls and 1 strike. And that'll bring AK out behind the plate to talk to Peters. Hamilton had a grand slam on Wednesday against Houston, playing in her 184th game in the Kentucky uniform. All right, we're back to play here. 3-1 pitch from Peters. Runner fake going, popped up, foul territory behind first base in no man's land, and no one can get there. That one landed in foul territory between Frankie, Talon, and Maya. And the count is full now, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming here, big pitch in this game, 3-2. Change up grounded off the body of Peters, knocks it down at her feet, turns, throws to first to get the runner by a half step. For the out. 1 down here in the 4th inning. That is not an easy play by Sydney Peters. See on the replay, it was a low pitch. She knocked it down with her ankle, and as she went to pick it up, her mask that she wears to pitch started to kind of fall off her face, so she was throwing almost blind, for lack of a better term, and trying to see through that, and was able to get Hamilton. Now it does basically serve as a sacrifice for Kentucky, as it does move Hammond into scoring position. Here's Peyton Plotz, who walked in the 2nd inning. 1-1, our score here in the 4th. And that's a strike with the knees on the outside corner, 0-1. If that ball doesn't hit Sydney Peters' ankle, it's into center field for a base hit. It was well struck off the bat of Carissa Hamilton. This ball line foul towards the Aggie bullpen. And it counts 0-2. See Kentucky participating in the Aggies BTHO cancer game. Pink socks, pink belts. Aggies with the pink stirrups and pink tops. Pitch, waist pitch outside and high at 68 miles an hour. Changeup cued foul, 3rd base side. Feels like a big moment in this game. Kentucky, for the 3rd time in 4 innings, getting the lead runner to second base in an inning with 1 out. 1-2 pitch, changeup, poked into right field, long run. Frankie Vrajel almost makes the catch, drops out of her glove. Quick throw to third, but not in time. The runner's safe there. Long run for Frankie, made essentially a shoestring catch, and the ball popped right out of her glove. And everybody's safe. Runners at first and third. She got there, caught it, just popped right out of her glove, and that will be scored an error. on Frankie Vroschel. And heads up base running by Hammond to get to third base. Now first and third, one out. Maddie Clark to the plate. Sacrifice bunt in this game, so no official at bat. Check swing foul on the right side. Aggies have brought the corner infielders in. Again, no force at the plate. But they're going to leave the middles back. Hoping for a double play. Now they're going to pull them in. You see Hamilton over at, or excuse me, Plotz over at first. 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Now they're going to back the middles up, Texas A&M. There's the 0-1 outside. 1-1. Aggies did not execute this first and third situation well in Baton Rouge. It cost them a run. What I mean by that is the runner at first trying to take second base. And then you throw through or not. And we'll see if Kentucky tries to pull that. 1-1. Rise ball well out of the zone. 2-1. Peters' last 2 pitches have not been close. Hammond at third, Plotz at first, and Clark at the plate, a .250 hitter. 2-1, changeup bounces in, blocked by AK. 3-1 now. On deck, Ella Emmert. Peters back on the rubber. And here's the 3-1 pitch. Chopped to short, 2 hopper. It'll get the run home. 2nd to 1. First is not in time. Not enough pace on that ground ball. Maddie Clark will drive in the run and give Kentucky the lead back, 2-1.
Catcher number 64, Ella Emmert.
And for Maddie Clark, that is her 11th RBI of the season. So the error does come back to bite Texas A&M there. Here's Emmert. That's down for a ball. She struck out in the second. If Frankie's able to make that running catch, that's the 2nd out. It also doesn't allow Hammond to go to third base. And so that ground ball right there is an easy out, and it ends the inning. Talon Edwards tying her shoe. So a brief timeout on the field. So runner at 1 is Maddie Clark with 2 outs and a run home for Kentucky here in the 4th inning. And that's a strike at the knees on the outside corner at 69 miles an hour. 1-1 the count to Ella Emmert. Hitting .254 as she stands in. She's 0 for 4 in the series. Ella pinch hit in Friday's game and then started yesterday's game. 1-1 way out of the zone on the rise ball. For the most part, Peters' rise has not been all that competitive today. Every now and then she'll get one closer to the zone and get Kentucky to chase, but she seems to be overthrowing them quite a bit. See AK having to jump out of her crouch a lot behind the plate. Paints the inside corner just above the knees for a strike to even the count. Sydney Peters a strike away from getting back in the dugout. Two. Swing and a miss. There's a rise ball. Brought it down a bit. And got Emmert to chase. That'll do it for Kentucky. Nice pitch there for Sydney Peters. Let her high on the outer half. She punches out Emmert to end the inning, but Kentucky able to take advantage of the miscue, and they regain the lead. 2-1, Wildcats lead it as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Fans, check out today's 12-man rewards crowd cameo cheesecake presented by Rico's. To participate in future games, open your 12-man rewards account in the 12-man mobile app and upload your game day photos for 12-man rewards bonus tokens.
your Aggies will close out this homestand Tuesday night at 6 o'clock as they host the Sam Houston Bearcats. Sam Houston 21-14 and in third place in the Conference USA standings. He just won a series against Kennesaw State on the road this weekend. Sam Houston here at Davis Diamond Tuesday night at 6 p.m. 12band.com/softball tickets to get your seats today.
Getting it started for the Aggies in the bottom of the fourth.
Bottom three in the lineup for the Aggies. Kelsey Mathis, Paisley Allen, Frankie Brajel. They trail it 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Sarah Hendigas starts her off with a strike. Mathis walked in the second inning. Kelsey 4 for 6 with 2 runs scored in this series. Foul back quickly. Hendigas ahead in the count 0-2. Hendigas entering this inning. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 unearned run. Coming back in the second. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 59 pitches. She has stranded 5 Aggie base runners through 3 innings. Changeup high and out of the zone, 1-2. Hendigas' second year in the Kentucky program after transferring from Oregon State, was actually on Oregon State's World Series team in 2022 along with our assistant coach, Eric Leba. 1-2, grounder to short. Picked there by Clark. Throw to first in time for the out. Get a lot of those connections now with the transfer portal. It's 1 down here in the Aggie fourth inning.
Next steps to the plate, left fielder number 11, Paisley Allen.
Paisley, sacrifice bunt, reached on a throwing error in the second. Starts her with a changeup for a ball. Hendigas in the first and third innings, and she's trending that way here in the fourth, had gotten the first 2 Aggie hitters. It's much harder to start a rally with 2 outs than with no outs. Strike called. Outer half. In that second inning, the first 3 batters reached, so when she's able to kind of command early in the inning, she has seen a lot of success here this afternoon. Paisley flares that one down the line and right. That is just foul. Call there by Brett Higgins. Would have maybe been a double. Waited on it, drove it late. And put it perfectly, just a bit foul. That's a good call by Brett Higgins. That landed about maybe half a ball foul. Counts 1-2. Drop ball misses. Change up and a beauty. Swing and a miss. Paisley Allen is a strikeout victim. That's 2 down. 3rd strikeout of the game for Hendigas.
Now batting for your Aggies, right fielder number 8, Frankie Brajel.
So here's Frankie. 0 for 1 in the game. 4 for 7 now in the series with an RBI. Runs up and takes that one down for a ball, 1-0. Kentucky leads it 2-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That's a strike. 64 miles an hour on the outside corner. Chops it right side on 2 hops to the second baseman Blum. Throw to first is in time, and a very quick and quiet inning for Texas A&M in the fourth. Head to the 5th inning. Kentucky leads it 2-1.
Special thanks to Optimum for their sponsorship of this weekend series versus Kentucky. Optimum is proud to be the official internet provider of Texas A&M Athletics. Now, fans, it is time to bring the energy and re-energize the 12th man. Congratulations to Section 107, Row 6 on winning some free Celsius. Don't forget to show up and bring the essential energy all game long with Celsius, the official energy drink of Texas A&M Athletics. The bit.
Fifth inning, 2-1, Kentucky leads Texas A&M. Each team has managed just 3 hits. Teams have combined to leave 8 base runners. They are combined 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Kentucky just 1 for 7, and A&M 0 for 5. So it isn't like Kentucky hasn't had quite a few chances to expand the lead either. But what it does mean is it's anybody's ball game as we head into the final 3 innings here.
Leading off the top of the fifth for Kentucky.
9-1 and 2 due up for the Wildcats. That's Alexa Riddell. She'll be followed by Carly Sleeman and Emery Donaldson. Sydney Peters. 4th inning of relief, 1 hit, 1 unearned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Starter Kate Munnerlyn gave up a run on 2 hits in that first inning and was lifted to start the second by Sid. So here's Riddell. 0 for 1 in the game, 2 for 6 with a double in the series. And starter with a changeup for strike 1. Flies ball back to the screen. Peters battled injury last year for Texas A&M. Pitched first, maybe about half the season, I would say, and then missed most of conference play, and then was able to get back in the circle in the regional. This year has made it through the entire year. It's good to see her out there. 2-1 the count as that one was high and out of the zone. Freshman year at the University of Washington. A power pitcher and can really throw a lot of stuff. Does tend to work up in the zone more than down, but has a really nice change as well. It's a 2-1 pitch. Pop foul here on the left side. That'll carry into the Aggie pen. Peters set 2-2. Change up, chopped, left side of the infield. Kennedy Powell has it and throws the first 4 out, number 1.
Third baseman.
Top of the order now. Here's Carly Sleeman, 1 for 2 in the game with a run scored. 2 for 6 with a solo homer and 2 runs scored in the series. Kentucky leads by a run here in the 5th. Strike at the knees. Talked about Kentucky's SEC slate. The Aggies will look like this. Next weekend, they are at the defending national champs, the Texas Longhorns. And then in 2 weeks, A&M will host Georgia here on Easter weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Foul back to the net. After that, the Aggies go to Ole Miss. They'll come home and host Mississippi State, who's maybe the surprise team of the league. They're a top 12 team. Go to South Carolina on the second to last week of the season, and then on the final week of the season, they'll host the Oklahoma Sooners here at Davis Diamond. 0-2. It's high. There is no easy path in this league. Sometimes it feels like it's easier than other teams, but for the most part, it is pretty brutal week in, week out. Pop foul over our heads. Count is 1-2. Told you Florida came back to take the series from Tennessee in Gainesville. See if we got any other finals. LSU has taken the series at South Carolina. Changeup bounces in. 2-2 the count. Well, LSU lost the opener in 12 innings and then came back to win 5-1 yesterday and 2-1 today. So A&M with a series win in Baton Rouge. And then LSU goes on the road and takes 2 at South Carolina. 2-2. A soft liner towards shortstop. That's caught easily by KK DeMint for out number 2. I think that's what you're going to see this year in this league is anybody can beat anybody at any given time. There will be, I'm sure, a couple of teams that'll separate themselves over the course of a 24-game season, but for the most part, it It could be anybody's game on any given day. Here's Donaldson, 0 for 1 in the game with a sacrifice. She's 1 for 6 on the weekend. Bounces in, ball one. I mean, look at this Kentucky team. You know, they're 1-7 right now. Lost the first 2 here. They were in both games, late actually, in both games. They won 1 at Auburn, and the third one went 13 innings, so that's anybody's game. It's a 1-0 pitch. Strike called. Florida run ruled them in all 3 games in Lexington, but that first one, Florida wins 10-2. It was a 2-1 ball game, like in the 5th or 6th inning. So it's anybody's ball game any time you step on the field in this league. 1-1 pitch. It's taken for a ball just above the belt. Ariel Kowalewski turning around to ask the home plate umpire where it was. Two balls, 1 strike to count. That's way high. Hitters count now. And that's why you don't think a lot of teams in other leagues want to see an SEC team get sent to their regional in postseason, because the SEC teams have been through a meat grinder week after week after week. It's nothing new for them when they get to postseason. 3-1 pitch. Pop foul. Coming back in front of us.
On the bounce. You can keep that courtesy up with Dixie Chicken.
Full count now. Peters trying to sit the Wildcats down in order. Payoff pitch. Change up to foul, third base side. Two pitch again. Just got a piece of it on the end of the bat. Tried to blow one by her on the outer half. Donaldson flips it back onto the net. Another payoff pitch. Popped up left side. KK Dement, the shortstop, calls for it, makes the catch. We're out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down. 5 in a row retired by Sydney Peters following the error. Middle of 5, 2-1, Kentucky leads it.
Of the 5th inning, your score, Kentucky 2, Texas A&M 1.
If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. That lead guitar is hot, but not for a Louisiana man. So rosin up that both faded love, and let's all dance. If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. I remember down in Houston, we were putting on a show when the cowboy in the back stood up and yelled, "Ha ha, Joe!" He said, "We love what you're doing. Boys, don't get us wrong. There's just something missing in your song. If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. That lead guitar is hot, but not for a Louisiana band. So rosin up that old faded love, and let's all dance. If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band."
Kentucky Wildcats leading Texas A&M 2-1 as we head to the bottom of inning number 5 here at Davis Diamond. Temperature climbing, now sitting at 86 degrees here. High supposed to reach just shy of 90. Yesterday was our season high here in Aggieland. We actually hit 90 during the game. It started at 88, but it's been a warm weekend here in Aggieland. Supposed to stay warm most of the week and then it's supposed to drop off over the weekend. The Aggies top of the order, third time through the lineup.
Number 1, Kennedy Powell.
Kennedy Powell, Talon Edwards, Maya Perez to face Sarah Hendigas, who has been good, very good in the circle for Kentucky. Slaps the first pitch foul left side for strike one. KP, 30-game reach base streak on the line. She is 0 for 2 in this contest. Corners in for the Wildcats. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 1-1. KP now hitting .429 as she stands in. There's a look at Hendigas. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 unearned run, 71 pitches. Tries to bunt on a pitch in on the hands, fouls it off, and KP, frustrated with herself, slaps her foot with the bat, and it counts 1-2. He's trying to get something cooking here. The only inning that they've got the lead runner on was the second, and they scored. 1-2. Changeup popped up, though, left side of the infield. And the third baseman, Sleeman, will squeeze it just to the left of the circle. So a very weak pop-up on a changeup. KP on a timing swing there. That's out number 1. She's 0 for 3.
Stepping up to the plate, acting second baseman, number 44, Talon Edwards.
Talon Edwards. Time called. That'll bring Rachel Lawson out of the dugout. Talon 0 for 2 in this ball game. 2 for 8 with a double and a homer on the weekend. Be careful here. She got Talon and then Maya Perez on deck. And the way this game is going, you feel like this might be the Aggies' kind of last real chance to put together a rally, as Hendigas has kept the Aggies off balance. She's also successfully navigated some of the big critical at-bats in this game. Aggies loaded the bases with nobody out in the second. She got a strikeout, an RBI ground out, and a fly out to escape further damage and only allow the 1 run. A lot of times you load the bases, or if the bases are loaded with no outs, you only allow 1. That's not the worst thing in the world. Ball 1 to Talon. The last at-bat for Talon Edwards, by the way, an 11-pitch at-bat. She fouled off 5 2-strike pitches with a full count. Ended up flying out to pretty deep center field. Changeup grounded hard past Hamilton at first base and into right field for a base hit. Hamilton was playing a step in on the first base side, and that ball was hit hard. She had to bring her glove across her body to her open hand side and just barely got the tip of the glove on it, but it was hit too hard for her to do anything other than that. So now that'll bring up Maya Perez. We're going to get a pinch runner for Texas A&M as well. It's going to be Haley Golden coming in to run at first base for the Aggies, the junior out of Pearland.
First base for the Aggies, junior pitch runner number 9, Haley Golden.
Haley making her 22nd appearance of the season.
Now batting for Aggies, first baseman number 24, Maya Perez.
First pitch. And a strike called. That's 54 miles an hour. Maya walked in the first. Grounded out off the glove of the first baseman to second, back to first in the third inning. Here's the 0-1. Runners going, pitches high and outside. Throw down is not in time as Haley slides into the far side of the bag. Safe. And Haley Golden, stolen base number 5 of the season. Now, the question for Rachel Lawson is, what do you do with Maya Perez here? 1-1. Swings at a pitch off the plate. Base hit to the right of the second base bag. In to score with a tying run is Haley Golden. 2-2 our score. tried to pitch around her. She went out and got it, folks. That pitch was a good 2 to 3 balls off the plate to the left-handed hitter. And Maya said, I'm done with this, and ripped it to center. And that was in the right-handed batter's box. That might be it. Nope, sorry, we got a pitch runner coming here. Scout Lovell is going to run. Hodges is checking on the sub there. So the Aggies forcing the issue with the stolen base. And then again, I do really think that Kentucky was not trying to pitch to Maya Perez. A little too close to the plate. Maya went out and got it. And the RBI for Maya is her 37th of the season. Ball 1 to Michaela Wark. So the Aggies have tied it up. Scout Lovell, by the way, the junior at first base, 21st appearance of the season. Also, a very good base runner for Texas A&M off the bench. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike called on the inner half. Nick is 1 for 2 today. She is 3 for 8 in the series. 1-1, swing and a miss. And time call. They're going to reset the pitch clock again. So a 1-2 count to Michaela Wark. The Aggies have knotted this one up at 2 here in the 5th. Here's a pitch. Changeup floats in. That's a beauty, and it is just, and I mean just, below the zone. 2-2. Haven't seen the low strike called all day. The TrackMan says it might have barely caught the zone. 2-2. Nick, runner going, popped up to short. That's going to turn into a double play. Runner was going. Michaela Wark swung at a changeup down and popped it to short. They'll catch it there. Throw to second, no chance, or throw to first, no chance for Scout to get back. So that'll end the inning on Kentucky's 6th double play of the season. But A&M's able to tie the game, and we'll head to the 6th. Tied at 2.
Purchase game tickets, visit 12man.com/softball-tickets. Just a reminder, kids 12 and younger will be able to run the bases once the field is cleared after today's game. To participate, please gather in guest services on the third base concourse at the end of the game. Fans, with that stolen base by your Aggies in the 5th inning, you get to steal a scoop. Present your digital game ticket in the store to claim a free scoop and enjoy your next meal at Chicken Salad Chick.
Got a good one going here as we head to the 6th. It's now a 2-inning ball game, 2-2 our score. Kentucky and Texas A&M. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Sunday afternoon. Again, the Aggies home Tuesday night against Sam Houston, 6 o'clock. First pitch for that one. Kentucky has a 5-game homestand beginning on Tuesday against Bellarmine, 5 o'clock. First pitch for that one. Louisville, the rivalry, coming in on Wednesday night, 5:30. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 15th ranked Georgia, 6:30, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock at John Kropp Stadium. Home of the SEC tournament this year. We'll be in Lexington in May. Final on campus SEC tournament. It's moving to a neutral site next year. All right, Sydney Peters back out there for the Aggies. In the 6th, she'll get the middle of the Kentucky lineup, 3, 4, and 5. Ellie Blum 0 for 2 today with a foul out and a pop out. She's 2 for 6 in the series. I'll start her with a pitch up in the zone. 1-0. See if I see anybody down there. It doesn't look like the Aggies are throwing anybody right now. Oh, nope, they are. It's probably Lessentine. Can't see her, but that's going to be my guess. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Soft ground ball on 2 hops to KK Domenic short. Throw to first, gets past Maya Perez. Runner's going to take second on the error. And that's a ball that Maya, I think, needs to catch. It looks like it came to her in the air. I'm not quite sure what happened there. KK had to rush to throw a tiny bit. It was a little low, but it wasn't bad. And Maya just flubbed it. Went right off her glove, right between her legs. And that is a very big error there. We'll see who they give the error to. Here is Abby Hammond, who's 2 for 2 today. That's high for a ball, 1-0. Hammond with a double and a single and a run scored. And a golden chance here for Kentucky to retake the lead. Nobody out. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. Popped up behind the circle. Who wants it? Talon Edwards makes a sliding catch behind the circle, taking control of that for out number 1. Nice effort there by Talon. She was probably the only one to get to it. As KK conceded, that's a nice catch there. Checking to make sure she's good to go. And she is. So that's 1 out. Here's Hamilton, who's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout in the first, ground out in the fourth. Change up, hit in the air to center. It's carrying pretty deep with this wind. Kelsey Mathis is back, and that ball is gone. Carissa Hamilton got it up in the wind and drives her 7th home run of the season over the fence in center, and Kentucky takes the lead for the 3rd time today. Too much of the plate there from Sydney Peters. A little bit above the belt, a little bit on the outer half. Hamilton definitely has the pop to get it out of here, and then that south wind blowing out, helping it. Kelsey Mathis tracked it and just ran out of room. 229 feet off the bat. And the error comes back to bite the Aggies again today. Strike 1 to Peyton Plotz, who's 0 for 1 in the game. Aggies with 2 errors in this game that have led to 2 unearned runs. Swing and a miss, and it counts quickly 0-2. Now the Aggies have their work cut out for them. They're down to 6 outs. Still got to get out of this inning without any further damage. Rise ball swung on and missed.
And there's a strikeout.
That's out number 2.
3 strikeouts. Shirts are about to fly courtesy of the warehouse at
Fourth strikeout for Sydney Peters since entering the game in the 2nd. 2 down. That'll bring up Maddie Clark.
Shortstop number 7, Maddie Clark.
Maddie Clark fouls the first pitch off for a strike. 0 for 1 in the game with an RBI ground out. Also has a sacrifice. So 0 for 7 in the series. A&M in the 6th will have 5, 6, and 7 due up against Hendeges. Aggies just cannot solve her changeup. 0-1 high. She hasn't always used it as a strikeout pitch, and she's only struck out 3. It's just that she's been keeping A&M's hitters off balance, and they haven't been able to really get bat on ball all that hard today. One popped up, coming back into the stands.
You can keep that foul ball courtesy of the Dixie Chicken.
So a ball and 2 strikes and 2 outs as Kentucky has regained the lead here in the 6th. Ball just got a piece of that one to stay alive as Maddie Clark. Kentucky a single run in the 1st inning. The Aggies tied it in the 2nd. Single run in the 4th. The Aggies tied it in the 5th, and 2 here in the 6th inning. The 1-2 pitch. Lifted in the air to left center field. Paisley Allen moving over, makes the catch. But the damage is done on the 2-run homer by Carissa Hamilton. Kentucky takes a 4-2 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning here at Davis Diamond.
Make sure to follow Aggie Softball on Facebook, X, and Instagram to stay up to date with everything going on with the team. Follow at Aggie Softball on X and Instagram, or head to facebook.com/Aggie Softball.
Kentucky leading 15th ranked A&M, looking to salvage a game here in this series. 4-2 our score. Aggies took the first 2 games in Baton Rouge over the weekend and were unable to close out the sweep, and they're in danger of doing the same thing here as they have 6 outs to go against Sarah Hendigas. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 85 pitches through those 5 innings. She'll get AK, KK, and Mathis, Kelsey Mathis, due up here in this inning. Aggies need a crooked number in the worst way, and they've been able to put those together in the first 2 games. So far, not today. In the first game, A&M had a 3-run 5th and a 4-run 6th. Yesterday, a 4-run 1st and a 3-run 6th, and they got to do something here to answer back. AK doubled in her last at bat. She's 1 for 2 today. Outside to the sophomore for ball 1. What a cool story this kid is. Freshman year at Florida in 2024. Transferred mid-year to A&M, so she couldn't play last year. And she also couldn't play in the fall. Strike called. So the first time she gets to play in a game is to start this season. And then, part of the way through the season, she moves back to what's her natural position at catcher. Outside, 2-1. I don't think it caught a bullpen in the fall, maybe one. Hadn't caught at all the year before, and obviously just very little catching action at Florida. And now has been really a huge piece. Texas A&M behind the plate. She's looked fantastic back there. Now facing a 2-2 count here, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Slap foul past Jeff Harger in the third base coaching box. It's off the plate. Ball 3. That was a good 2 to 3 balls off the plate. Good location from Hendigas, but Kowalewski does not chase, and the count is full. Here's the payoff pitch. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Just to the left of the second base bag. Clark, the shortstop, got a glove on it. Even if she's able to field it with all that momentum moving behind second base, she's not going to be able to turn and throw on the run to get AK. Hit number 6 of the day for Texas A&M. They have to capitalize on this chance here. Ansley Gross, the freshman, will come in and run at first base, her 16th appearance of the year. Ansley has scored 9 runs and is second on the team in 5 stolen bases.
Next into the box, the shortstop.
Aggies did this in the 5th. Granted, it was a 1-run deficit, not a 2-run deficit. Do they send Ansley here? Here's KK. This pitch is a ball, 1-0. KK bunt single, scored a run in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. 2 for 7. On the weekend with a double and 3 runs driven in. Inside misses, 2-0. KK DeMent in the LSU series, 1 for 10. The 1 was a home run. 2-0. Taking all the way, that's a strike. Ansley dancing around off first base. Emmerich behind the plate has already had a stolen base against her in this game. She has thrown out 2 of 17 runners this year. 2-1 pitch. Flared into right field. That will hang up and be caught by Plotz. Basically medium right field, ranging towards that right field line for out number 1, so no chance for Ansley to advance. We'll bring up Kelsey Mathis. 4 hits in the series, leading the team entering today. She's 0 for 1 today. Walk on 4 pitches in the 2nd, ground out to short in the 4th. 4-2 Kentucky, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Changeup falls below the knees for a ball. Wildcats opened SEC play with a road win at Auburn. That snapped a 16-game SEC road losing skid for them. Rise ball misses 2-0. Lost the last 2 to Auburn, and then lost the first 2 here. There's 1 road SEC win in their last 20 chances. They got a good opportunity here. Into left center field, that's down for a base hit. Ansley rounds first, stops. Around 2nd, stops at 2nd. And the Aggies have the tying run at first. Nice job of hitting there. That is Kelsey's 5th hit of the weekend. The Aggies are going to go to the bench and get Maddie Sawney, the freshman, to hit. Maddie had started a fair amount of the games at the start of the year behind the plate, and when AK moved behind the plate, she's been now moved onto the bench as a pinch hitter, but's got a lot of pop. And you love what you saw out of her in Baton Rouge. She came in 2 pinch hit opportunities, got a base hit in her first SEC at-bat off the bench cold. And then drove another ball, but it was caught. So Maddie 1 for 2 in the LSU series. On the year, 263 hitter. First pitch is high for a ball. Has quite a bit of power. 2 homers on the year in just 38 at-bats, 6 runs driven in. Had an absolute bomb to opposite right center field against Duke in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. 1-0 pitch. Strike at the knees. 64 miles an hour. First and second, 1 out. Aggies have the tying run at first base. Kentucky's outfield about a step deep and straight away. Change up, and she's way out in front of that. Strike 2. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again. Ball and 2 strikes to the freshman pinch hitter, Alei Hawaii. There it is again. Swung on and just got a piece of that one. Just. Fell right down on the plate, and she'll stay alive to see another pitch. Frankie Vragel's on deck. Endigas ready with the 1-2 pitch. That one just misses. And the whole Kentucky dugout reacting on that one off the plate. Trackman says it was a ball or 2 off the plate. maybe in the river from where we're sitting up here. 2-2 count here. Working quickly is Hendiges. Change up, hit into left field, and that is past the left fielder who tried to make a diving catch. Rounding third is Ansley Grove. She will score. They're going to send Kelsey Mathis. She will score. We are tied at 4. Frank did the change up well a third time. She smoked it to left field, and Riddell trying to come over and make the catch. Couldn't get it. Maddie Sawney delivers. 2-run double, we're tied. What an adjustment by the freshman.
Next up to the plate for your Aggies, right fielder number 8, Frankie Brazel.
Paisley Allen will re-enter the game at second base. And the Aggies have tied it at 4. Outside, ball 1 to Frankie, who is 0 for 2 in the game with a strikeout and a ground out. That ball, by the way, off the bat of Maddie Sawney on a changeup, folks, 75 miles an hour. That ball is down the line in right field. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's fair. Into the corner. Frankie Brazel into second. Run scores. Paisley Allen sliding in safely as Brazel with a triple. 5-4. Aggies. Another changeup from Hendiges. Frankie went down and got it right below her knees and drove it just inside the line in right field. And there's the crooked number you needed if you're wearing the maroon and white. Lawson out to talk to her ace. What adjustments by the Aggie hitters. That Hendiges changeup, folks, is so good, and she has caused A&M problems all game with that thing. Maddie Sawney cold off the bench, hits a changeup, and then Frankie Brazel deposits a triple on a changeup into the corner at 65 miles an hour off the bat. KP fouls this pitch off for strike 1.
Nicely done. You can keep that courtesy up, the Dixie Chicken.
KP 0 for 3 today. Runner at third. 1 out. Pitch is outside. 1-1. The triple, by the way, for Frankie. It's her first of the season, third as an A&M team. That's high, 2-1. Three home in the inning for Texas A&M. 2-1 pitch. Flared foul.
That's another free souvenir courtesy of the Dixie Chicken.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to KP. Grounded right side. Past the second baseman, off her glove and into center field. RBI single for KP. It's 6-4 Aggies. That's just the way it's going if you're Kentucky. If you look at this inning, hard hit single by Ariel Kowalewski just off the glove of a fielder. The double by Maddie Sawney just off the glove of a fielder and left. The triple by Frankie Brazel just inside the line and right. And then that one right there just off the glove of the diving Blum at second. That hit extends KP's reach base streak to 31 games now. And a strike called to Talon Edwards. The RBI for KP is her 16th of the year, a team-leading 43rd hit of the season. 43 hits, and we're only in game number 31. Strike called on the inside corner to Talon. And the count's 0-2. There's a pitch, runner going, it's a ball outside. Throw down is wide of the bag, and KP slides in under the shortstop, Clark, who ran across the bag to just make sure it didn't get thrown into center field. That stolen base, 15th of the season for Kennedy Powell. 2-2 the count now. KP. 2-2 pitch to Talon, just foul, first base side. Carried into foul territory, first baseman Hamilton almost able to get to it. Seventh batter of the inning at the plate, still only one out. 2-2 pitch on a changeup. Did she go around? She did. Strikeout as she's rung up by the third base umpire. KP takes third base. Talon still not sure if she swung, but she's got to head back to the dugout. So it's going to be a strikeout of her for out number 2. I believe it was a stolen base. I think KP was going on the pitch, but I didn't get a great look at it. We'll go ahead and wait for that decision. But for the Aggies, they do have a runner at third. Here's Maya Perez. That's high, ball 1. Maya 1 for 2 today with an RBI single. She went off the plate and took a pitch into center field to drive in a run in the 5th inning. 2-0. That's outside. So another stolen base for KP in the inning. She sits at third. Outside, snap throw down. KP diving back in safe at third base. 3-0 now to Maya. Michaela Wark on deck. Wark will be the 9th hitter of the inning. A&M 4 runs home in the 6th inning. Finally solving Sarah Hendiges. And the strike on the inside corner at the bottom of the zone, 3-1. Kentucky infield and outfield deep. Spins that one high. Maya draws the walk. Second walk of the game. Maya's 28th walk of the season. Now runners at the corners for Michaela Wark. Nick is 1 for 3 in the game. Singled in the first, popped out in the third. Hit into a line drive double play in the 5th inning. 3 for 9 in the weekend. And that's taken just below the knees. Four Aggies here in the 6th. Outside, 2-0. Wark hitting .314 as she stands in. .381 hitter with runners in scoring position this season for A&M. She has been clutch. That one bounces in, blocked by the catcher, Emmert. And a 3-0 count now. Maria Kowalewski on deck for Texas A&M. She started this inning with a base hit. We had a base hit, fly out to right, single, 2-run double, RBI triple, RBI single. That's a strike called at the letters. Counts 3-1. KP is at third, Maya is at first. Strike called on the outside corner, and that'll fill him up. Payoff pitch, fouled off.
Find your scooters on off-ball balls, courtesy of the Dixie Chicken.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at the corners, 4 home for the Aggies in this frame. Swung on and lifted to left field by Rourke. That is deep. That is back. That is off the scoreboard. 3-run shot for Michaela Rourke. And Michaela turned on it and hit it off the top of the scoreboard and left 231 feet, a new career high, 12th home run of the season. RBIs 41, 42, 43, and the Aggies have blown this one wide open. It's 9-4. Has had the propensity to do this year, snowballing these innings, coming kind of out of nowhere. Again, it all started with that Ariel Kowalewski full count single to begin this inning. 7 runs in the 6th. She'll foul the first pitch back for a strike. Misses off the plate to the left-handed hitter, and the count's 1-1. I don't remember if the Aggies have put up a number this. They might have done it once this year in an inning. Let's take a quick look. It's outside. 7-run inning against NC State in Clearwater. So that would match that for sure. 2-1 pitch. Ate flares it foul left side towards the Aggie bullpen. Now 5-run inning against UCLA, 5 runs against Kennesaw in an inning, 5 runs again against Kennesaw, 8-run inning against St. Mary's, which would be the season high. That's hit into left field and caught for Liddell for out number 3. What an inning for your Aggies. 7-run 6th, and they are 3 outs away from the sweep. 9-4 our score. Into the 7th inning, the Aggies with a 9-4 lead, and they will give the ball to the sophomore Sydney Lessentine to close this one out. Lessentine making her 19th appearance of the year. Team high 71 innings of work, 9-2 record, 2.27 ERA. Opponents hitting 192 against her. We saw Lessentine throw in both games through the last inning on Friday night, 1 inning of hitless relief, and then a complete game yesterday, 7 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run. So Lessentine to throw. And we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Rachel Lawson to begin this inning, hitting for the catcher, Ella Emmert. It'll be 11 Reagan Oni, a sophomore out of Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Oni started the first game Friday, went 0 for 1. And she played defensively, so didn't get an at-bat, but defensively yesterday in the Aggies' victory. Oni on the season, 1 for 12 at the plate, 22nd appearance of the year, has scored a run. First pitch coming here from Lessentine. That's taken down for a ball, 1-0. I don't think we have any other changes. Let me take a quick look around. No. Everything else still the same for the Aggies defensively. So Sydney Lessentine, third pitcher of the game. It's a 1-0. Foul back. Nine runs, 11 hits for Texas A&M. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the inner half. And it counts 1-2. Another pinch hitter waiting on deck, Gabby Hensley. And on the hands, jams it. Foul on the right side towards the on deck circle. Put it right on the handle of the bat there. Well, the Aggies got 7-run, 6th inning. Their motto, team on this year, is NOTF, never out of the fight, and that is the story here today. 1-2, hit well into right center field, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. Frankie will pick it up off the fence and into second base with a leadoff double is the sophomore Reagan Oni. First double of the season, second hit of the season. That was hit well, 73 miles an hour off the bat. Here's Gabby Hensley, a freshman out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. 1 for 6 with a double on the year, making her 11th appearance. Pinch hit yesterday, 0 for 1 in that contest. Loads a changeup in at 57 miles an hour for a strike. Which is a strike on the inside corner at the knees. Quickly ahead in the count here is Sydney Lessentine, 0-2. And just misses on the off-speed pitch down on the zone. Well out of the zone, down below the knees of the hitter, Hensley, and the count is 1-2. Popped up foul here on the right side. It'll carry into the bleachers. Need Lessentine trying to put this one in the books. Give the Aggies a sweep. Still need 3 more outs, protecting a 5-run lead. Change up way out in front of that, and Hensley goes down swinging. Pulled the string on that one. 6th strikeout by an Aggie pitcher today. Top of the order now. Here's Carly Sleeman. 1 for 3 in the game with a run scored. That came back in the first inning. Change up, pop foul here on the right side. A reminder, if you're listening to us on the radio side, we will head down to the dugout. Talk with Trisha Ford and the Aggies following this one. TV side. We'll be back with you on Tuesday night. Sam Houston comes to town. Told you Sam Houston won a road series at Kennesaw State this weekend. That's hit in the air to left center field and deep. Paisley Allen is back. She's at the track, and that is gone. Carly Sleeman to left center field. Second home run of the weekend. And it's 9-6, Texas A&M. Did not miss that mistake. 241 feet off the bat, 70 miles an hour off the bat. That one obviously needed no help from the weather, as that was well out of here. Now, just a 3-run lead for the Aggies. Yeah, every single one of these runs matters. It's Donaldson. Outside for a ball. She's 0 for 2 in the game with a sacrifice. How big does the Michaela Wark home run look now? Change-up down the line and left, hit pretty well. Long run, Paisley Allen. Oh man, dove at it just as she crossed into foul territory, and it just hit off her glove. Heck of an effort from Paisley Allen on that one. What a run. Almost made an incredible highlight reel catch. Again, you've got to remember, this is not a natural outfielder. This kid is a natural infielder. She is playing there because that's where the Aggies need her. She has settled in quite nicely in left field. Hardy has 2 balls. She's pulled back over the fence this season as well. 1-1. Drop ball misses below the knees. Grounded to short. Free hopper. KK charges, throws on the run, got the out. 2 down. Not an easy play there from the sophomore. Pick and throw across her body on the run. It's the only way she's going to get Donaldson. That's out number 2, and now Allie Blum. Last chance for Kentucky to keep this one going. She's 0 for 3 in the game with a run scored. Reached on an error in the 6th and came home on the home run by Carissa Hamilton. Here's a pitch. Soft liner right at second base. Caught by Talon Edwards, and that is your ball game. And the Aggies with a 7-run 6th inning sweep Kentucky. 9-6, Texas A&M is the final. Aggies 22-9 now, 5-1. In SEC play, the Wildcats fall to 20-12 and 1-8 in league play. Kentucky back home this week to host Louisville and Georgia, along with Bellarmine. The Aggies Tuesday at Sam Houston here in Davis, and then on the road at Texas this weekend. On the SEC Network side, thanks to our entire 12 Man Productions crew for their work, and thanks for tuning in. On the radio side, we will head down to the dugout in a little bit and visit with the Aggies. Once again, the final score, Texas A&M sweeps Kentucky 9-6 here at Davis Diamond.